Hey guys, Backendless database schema can be very dynamic in nature. In fact, you can drive the creation of your database schema right from the APIs, meaning that as you add objects into the database, as you update objects, as you perform various functions that change the schema will be updated automatically. For example, consider the table that I have here. It's a person table that consists of the following columns. In fact, there is one user-defined or developer-defined column called name. So in this case, if I were to store new objects in this table, let's just create one right now. And let's say the name is going to be Joe. So now we have this object in here and Joe is there. But let's say if I were to add another object where the name is going to be Jane and I specify a new property called age, let's say the age is going to be 30, and I stored it in there. Now there is going to be an additional column created, age. And notice that this column was created automatically on the fly simply because I stored a new object with that property. This may be very convenient if you're just bootstrapping your development, if you don't want to worry about the schema and you kind of drive the schema creation through the APIs. The same is true for creating new tables. You could just store a new object in a table that you're just referencing in your APIs. Backendless will create this table on the fly. In some cases, that may be inconvenient or undesired. Specifically, if you were to release your application and it is in production, you would want to make sure that there are no schema changes. In this case, the configuration tab on the data screen provides this option. So here there is an option that is called Enable Dynamic Schema Definition. And by default, it is turned on. If you were to turn it off, then anytime you create a new object, and in this case, let's just create a new person, call him Greg, and add a property called phone number. And if I were to save this object, it will be created. However, the phone number property is now ignored for the reason that dynamic schema definition is turned off. So if I go back to the schema of this table, there is no phone number. So whenever it is turned off, Backendless ignores any properties that are not part of the schema that you have already defined. So keep this in mind. This could be very, very useful, especially if you want to restrict any kind of dynamic schema changes.